are very excited to have onto the stage with us today the coordinator and associate director of admissions and recruitment. Please, from the University of Maryland Engineering Department, please welcome Emily Golub.
All right, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Like they said, my name is Emily. I'm the coordinator for graduate admissions and recruitment. I work for Maryland Applied Graduate Engineering. So we are part of the Clark School at the University of Maryland, which is the engineering school. Our department oversees a couple of different programs. The main one we'll be highlighting today is the Engineering AI program. We're also over here at booth 615 if you want to come stop by and see us a little bit later. So what our department oversees are the Master of Engineering and the Graduate Certificate program. So the Master of Engineering is a 30-credit, 10-course program. Neither of these have a research or a thesis requirement. So it's 10 courses for the master's degree, 4 courses for the graduate certificate, and you are good to go, so none of that research or thesis. For the MEng, the Master of Engineering, full-time students can typically complete the curriculum in 1.5 to 2 years. Full-time status is considered enrollment in 3 or more courses. Typically, our full-time students are only in 3 courses per semester. Part-time students who are in 1 to 2 courses per semester, so 3 to 6 credits, they can complete the curriculum in up to 5 years. On average, for our part-time students, you're looking at about 3.5 to 4-ish years to complete the full master's, but that depends on the rate of pursuit. For the certificate, like I said, 4 courses, 12 credits, and it can be completed in 1 year on a part-time basis. Something worth noting about our programs is that if you decide that you want to start with the graduate certificate, you're more than welcome to do so. Once you've completed that, you would then submit an application to the master's program, and then those 4 courses would transfer over to the master's, leaving you only 4 credits away from graduating with the full master's degree. Hello? Sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay, so these are all of our different degree programs. So everything you see with an asterisk next to it is available entirely online. The online modality is unique in that there is no requirement to ever come to campus, be in the state of Maryland or anything like that, and it is the exact same curriculum as the on-campus version. When you graduate, your degree just says Master of Engineering, Graduate Certificate, whatever the case might be. There is no notation or anything like that on your diploma that indicates that it was an online program. So we have programs in 19 different academic areas, 13 of which can be completed entirely online. They can all be completed at either a full-time or a part-time rate. It just depends on what the student is interested in. I'm not sure where I'm pointing this thing. Okay, so we do have a flexible program structure. So for those who are in the on-campus version, we do typically try to set courses to be later in the day. They're usually early afternoon into the evening to accommodate for the schedules of working professionals. These are going to vary by course faculty availability and everything, so that is kind of dependent on the course and the program, but that is generally how the structure works. We have an industry-relevant curriculum. So the nature of our program, in that it is an applied program, means that it is geared towards students who want to go into the industry after they graduate. This differs from a PhD or a Master of Science program in that it is an applied program, so you're not dealing in the theoretical kind of nature of an MS or a PhD. So that's why we tend to attract students who are looking to go straight into the industry after they've graduated. We have a very accomplished faculty at our institution, so there are a ton of professors who are working either at a full-time or an adjunct basis who have had extensive careers in the field that they are teaching in, so students have that kind of mentorship available to them throughout the duration of the program. And we have a growing demand for advanced engineering skills. So again, these are students who are looking to transition into the field after they've graduated, as opposed to going on to pursuing more education or a PhD, something of that nature. So in terms of our application process, it is pretty straightforward. So the first step is going to be creating an account in our graduate application portal. In the educational intent section, students are going to indicate the degree and the program that they're applying for. So all of our programs have the title, the word professional, under the intended program of studies. Just ensure that you see that. We do have a $75 application fee, but if you stop by our booth today and you sign in with us, we will waive your application fee, and that fee waiver is going to be valid for up to a year. We require that at least 6 undergraduate semesters of coursework are completed prior to applying to the program. So at this point in the application process, we only require unofficial transcripts. In the event that you are admitted to the program and you decide to enroll, at that point is when you would need to have those official transcripts sent into the graduate school, but unofficial is completely fine for the time being. If you are an international student, we ask that you submit both an official English translation of your transcripts and in the original language if they do differ. If you have graduated from an international institution, we also ask that you include your degree certificate or your diploma. And then we do third-party credential, we don't accept third-party credential evaluation. So we do all international credential evaluation in-house. So you do not need to submit WES, ACRO, or things like that for our application. So we require 2 letters of recommendation for our Master of Engineering applicants. They can be professional or academic. It's totally up to the applicant who they ask. They just need to be uploaded through the portal by the recommender. A couple of notes here, again, academic or professional. There's no required format for recommenders to follow. Doesn't have to be on company letterhead or anything like that. And then we do not require letters of recommendation for graduate certificate applicants. And then there are a couple different pathways to pursue the different MAGE programs that we offer. So who should consider MAGE if you have a STEM degree? So for the most part, with the exception of a couple more niche programs, we accept applicants with all STEM backgrounds. Again, there are a couple of different nuances to that, but for the most part, that is a pretty blanket requirement. Someone who's interested in a career in the industry and is not interested in research or a PhD. Often students reach out to us and say, hey, I eventually do want to go on to pursue a PhD, to which we usually say, I would recommend looking into whichever PhD program you're interested in pursuing, seeing if they have some sort of stringent research requirement or anything of that nature, because that's not an experience that you would get through our program. So in order to best prepare you for that PhD application, we might recommend that you steer towards the MS degree. You also want to see if you might have external funding available. So our department is unable to provide any tuition assistance in the form of financial assistance, scholarship, or otherwise. So most of our students are funded through their employer for the most part. So third-party funding is definitely worth looking into. So for the Engineering Artificial Intelligence program, these are the admissions requirements. So applicants must have a bachelor's degree with a GPA of a 3.0 or better in a STEM field from an accredited institution. So we do have a holistic review process, so we are taking into consideration all aspects of an applicant's transcript, their personal statement, their letters of recommendation. We are looking at everything. We don't require a resume, but it is strongly suggested that you do submit one. We absolutely value work experience, and we do take that into consideration, especially when the GPA might be a little bit below a 3.0 and when an applicant has 10 plus years of relevant industry experience and all that kind of stuff. So it is not, we are looking for that, but there are other factors that are taken into consideration when making an admissions decision. So in terms of our engineering AI program, you can really customize your program. So that is what is unique about this program. It is an engineering artificial intelligence program. So we do have a set list of core courses that you can select from. In addition to that, we also have an extensive list of pre-approved technical electives that students can choose from. So if you're interested, for example, in the more cybersecurity aspect of it, you can choose from different cybersecurity electives to choose from. This program is very much a culmination of a lot of our different programs combined. So you could take courses within embedded systems, cloud engineering, systems, everything like that, mechanical, and that all kind of leads up to the 10-course curriculum requirement. So we offer courses in generative AI, industrial AI, robotic intelligence, cloud computing, ethical sustainability, large language models, and deep learning, and that is kind of just scratching the surface as to how customizable this curriculum is. If there is a course that you are interested in taking that's not one of our pre-approved ones, that is totally fine. You can request permission from your academic advising team to see how it can fit into your curriculum. But this program is designed to be completely different from student to student. So our goal is that no two students within our AI program has the exact same curriculum because everyone has different interests. So that is really the big advantage of this program. So that is it from us. If you have any questions, this is our email address. That is the best way to contact us. I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has at this time. But again, we're over at booth 615, so if you want to reach out, you're more than welcome to stop by and see us, email. and then we can check you in over at our booth to get you that application fee waiver. But any questions that anyone has, I'm happy to field some now. Yeah. Yeah, sure. So the question was whether the University of Maryland offers any STEM summer programs. They do offer them, they're just not through our department. So the University of Maryland has several summer programs for students in the local areas. A lot of them have a residential nature to them where students will come and live on campus for a period of time. I think it differs depending on which program they're involved in. The best way to find information about that would be through UMD's website. Since they're not through our department, I don't have the exact specifics, but that is definitely an option through the university. Yeah. Any other questions? All right. Yes. Yeah, so the question was whether we have any certificate programs for people who don't have a STEM background. So as far as our department is concerned and the programs that we oversee, all of our programs do require that applicants have a degree in a technical STEM field. The University of Maryland is huge, however, though. So there are a lot of different programs, there are a lot of different departments. So I would recommend reaching out to maybe some other departments that you might be interested in, see what they offer. Unfortunately, we don't currently have a pathway forward for students who don't have a degree in a STEM field. But that's not to say that those opportunities don't exist on campus. So I would recommend reaching out to those other departments. Yeah. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you all very much for your time. I appreciate it. And yeah, feel free to stop by our booth. Thank you.